see if this improves it. I'm expecting it to be moving a bit better. Well, it seems to be working at the moment, so that's good to see. I'll see if now it'll work a bit better. So sorry for the kick, but welcome back, and hopefully now the stream is improved. On my screen, on my monitor, it's moving fine. So fingers crossed. I think I just had a bit of a weird moment there. So we should be back in business. Yeah, let me know if you're witnessing any problems, or even let me know if it's just gotten any better as well. That will also be nice to know. Okay. Right, we've got that next range of ivory on there, so let's knock it up even more, a bit more white, and we hit a real light ivory now, and this is where our final color kind of goes in. Okay, I think we're doing all right there. That's looking quite nice. There's a nice range there, going from the dark brown to the ivory. This is also where we do some edge highlighting. Good, I'm happy to hear that. It was looking like it. I think there was just something weird there with the connection. It just needed to reset. So yeah, I couldn't see anything that was a problem. I did have Steam open. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I don't know if like something was like auto updating or something, and that was what was doing it. I didn't take a moment to have a look. I just was like, okay, let me just close that down just in case that's causing me issues. But I think I've recreated the ivory armor pretty well on this character here, which I'm pretty happy with. So the next thing we're going to be working on is, alright, this is now fairly thin, so we can kind of glaze it in a bit. Just kind of smooth out some of those areas. Glaze that one in a little bit. Make that a little bit smoother. Okay. Yep, that's looking not too bad. We'll get the top of the visor there. And there we go. And we basically have the armor more or less done at this point. Just put in a little bit here. Just like a little bit of a shine there. Nothing too much. There we go. So there we go with the armor. The armor's kind of in place. We might do some cleanup of it later and do all that. But right now, let's try and get the actual the chitin, the chitin chitin of the actual creature here. So we've already got some black on our palette here. What I'm going to bring in as well is we're going to bring in a little touch of amethyst. I'm going to start with amethyst, and we're going to bring in a touch of turquoise as well. Kind of give it a little bit of a glimmer, a little bit of a sheen. We'll see how this goes. So, spot them in. They're the colors we're going to go for. Excuse me. And then next we're gonna have a go at just kind of figuring out how we're gonna do this armor. So this body. So we're gonna start off with a bit of black. So the main thing is it's gonna try and read as black, but kind of like a beetle black kind of thing. So if we just do the arm first, and we'll try and do one arm, we'll try and figure out this thing. These beetle bug-like hands clasping the human skull. It's pretty cool. Not so much for the human. Okay. Gotta be careful of the job that we've already done on this. Okay, so you can see we've got a black arm there. It's very flat. So what we want to do is we want to build in a little bit of the white into there as well. We kind of got a grayscale going. Touch more black here. But we're going to also build in a little bit of purple into there as well. So I kind of got this desaturated purple. That's going to be my lower colors here, my base gray with a little bit of this this purple built in. maybe overdoing it a bit, but just get a little bit of that purple on the go there. I don't want anything too obvious though. So, don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of purple built in now. Okay. Then we'll go a little bit lighter on that. And then next step is going to be to actually bring in some of this turquoise. So we'll mix in the turquoise. I think I'm going to still need a bit more white in there, a touch more black. Get a nice in between for that. Still grey, but it's now kind of a turquoise grey, so it's just, we're kind of rising up a little bit in the light value, but we're kind of going through the blues and purples as well to add a little bit of character to the greys that we're adding here. This is where I really like using this paint set as a kind of a limiting factor on my paint schemes, so that I'm forced to play around with like these basic colors and figure out how to produce the color that I want. So we're kind of putting in a lot of different colors there. Let's see if I can figure out this. Thing here is not catching the paint that I'm using, but I don't want to move it too much because I've also got a video that I'm recording of my wet palette, which is going to be important for my YouTube. So I'm sorry, you have to bear with the fact that I thought I was going to be in shot for everything, but I'm apparently not. I could probably get around to that there. Eek. So yeah, we're going up to this lighter blue grey now that we've created. Work that one into there. And I'm liking this quite a bit actually. I think that looks kind of cool. Nothing too strong in there. It just kind of gives a very cool kind of black. Now, try going up a little bit more to the very top white that we're going to use. It's not a white as such, it's a blue-grey still. But it's that last bit of white that's showing the reflection in the black carapace that kind of actually sells it as being black. Kind of. Unless I do too much, and then it doesn't. Okay, there we go. I quite like that. I don't know how well you can see that on the screen, like the differences of the blues and purples and things, but there's definitely a purple and blue element built into that arm now, which I kind of like. It's kind of cool. So let's go and do it for the rest of this body. Start off with the black. Get in there with that. Don't have to worry about the inside of the arm too much. It's an area that we're not going to see. But as long as we don't have any glaring white, we can kind of cover it with the black. We should be okay. And luckily with the zenithal prime, it was already kind of pretty dark in there anyway. So we're pretty good. Okay, well you can see now, like there's the one painted versus pure black. And this one reads much more, in a much more interesting way. Sorry about that. So I'm going to take this purple grey first. And this is what's going to just mark out areas of reflection, the first initial layers. Probably leave it to dry a little bit longer. A bit lighter. Lighter still, but now into the blues. Light blue grey. Getting a bit lighter. And then up to its lightest. Then got these nice kind of carapace arms on the go. Right, let's try it for the head. Let's try and get the head right. I think the head, we can make it a little bit more iridescent. So afterwards, I think we're going to add in a little bit more of that purple and a little bit more of that turquoise. Try and make it look a little bit more interesting. Quick swig of coffee. Be careful with my brush. I'm being a little bit rough. I love the design of these Exrahs. They look really cool. I love the stag beetle head. It's very nice. Okay, let's add in a bit more of the black. A touch of the purple there. Mix that across. Some of that initial purple on the go there. Be fairly liberal at this stage. I'm not going to worry about the face at the moment. Make sure the head is done. Face will come in later, I think, because we can do maybe something interesting with the face afterwards. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's a bit of that in there. Let's get a little bit of white in. We get this very pale purple, which I'm going to try and use a bit more of this. Hello, Princess Emmy Bear. I think you misunderstood where I was going with this video. Mitsudomoe. I don't know Mitsudomoe. I'm unaware of this one. To research it afterwards. I'm really enjoying painting this. This is incredibly cathartic. I'm glad I chose this miniature. I nearly chose a dwarf to paint, and I think I'm much happier doing this one. I'm trying to get this bug kind of chitin painted. I think it's coming out okay. Yeah, challenging myself just to use a basic starter set for the whole miniature is proving to be a lot of fun, because I'm kind of having to figure out how to make certain colors with mixing and desaturating and lightening and darkening. And I'm really kind of happy with how that head is coming out. I think that's kind of cool. And what we can do though, bring in a little bit of this blue. Into the arms here. That is looking pretty cool. Alright, next is his legs. And then we've kind of done with his skin. I don't know if you call it skin. Then we can start doing all the other detailing and figuring out what we're doing with everything else. I really like how this Exrah is coming out. He's coming up. It's proper fun. So other than blending your models in a blender, what are you working on at the moment, Princess Semi Bear? Are you doing any, you getting any minis painted? Ooh, what kind of conversion are you doing? It's always fun. Oh, cool. Are you having to kit bash it with other things, or are you printing stuff to convert it? How are you going about it? Or are you just throwing it in a blender and going, job's done? That'll be an orc stealth suit. Bashing and sculpting. Sounds fun. Oh yeah, you can throw in links and stuff. Please do. Ah, yeah, that's fair enough. Oh, I understand that. Right now it's Golden Week here in Japan, so we're kind of hitting that time of year where I get a little bit of a holiday. Thank you. I'll have a look at that in a mo. Just finish off this black chitin. 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 Never quite sure on the pronunciation of that word. But the bug shell. That's where we're at so far with this guy. And I'm pretty pleased with how he is. I've kind of like using the black background is probably not the best thing to be doing right now, but I'm pretty happy with how he's looking. Or it is looking. Not quite sure which it is. Let's have a looky. Let's have a look at your thingy there. Ah. Yeah, that is very smooshed and mucked around with. Let me see if I can. Let's see if we can show that. There we go. There we go. That's where we're at the moment. So that's looking pretty cool. There is a lot of kit bashing going on there, and as you say, bashing and sculpting. Good luck. I'll be interested to see how it looks at the end. You're more than welcome to join the Discord if you like, and you can be able to share that stuff as you go as well. That's always lovely. If you wanted to. Hint, hint. Okay. Let's get these robes done here. These are going to be in red, because red is my kind of color for these guys here. So initially, let's try and make this red more vibrant. We're going to be using purple. I'm going to put a touch of black in just to darken it, just to make sure it's in the darker spectrum of purple, so that we can then come up into the reds. Here we go. Hold on a second. Let me just bring that up for you. There you go. There's the link. what I'm going to be doing is trying to move around the color wheel from the purples into the reds. So it goes to cold to warm. And hopefully that'll look pretty cool. Or pretty warm. This will basically mark out all of the shadows and where we're building from. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's always the battle, isn't it? Today I kind of changed up my setup to be able to record this for a later YouTube video, but I don't like the position of the camera and how it's kind of affecting how it looks on stream, and I'm a bit worried the actual video footage isn't going to be great either. So I'm kind of like, duh. We'll have to see. Comes out okay, but if it doesn't, then I think I gotta do a painting off stream of a different model, and doing it off stream means I can kind of control where everything is a bit more easily. Okay, right, we've got our initial purple down. The purple actually looks kind of cool there, but we're going to be moving that up to a red. So we're going to start off with a wine red. Pop that one down there. And we're going to be moving that one up to also a scarlet red. So I'm just going to put these two reds. There we go. And that's kind of the range we're going to go for, from the purple up to the scarlet red. So first, let's mix you two together, and then start flowing this into the cape. It's going to be covering most of it. Created this lovely dark magenta. Getting a little bit of a sense of volume, just a little bit. Okay. Next we're going to move that up to just the pure wine red. This is kind of the main base of everything. Going, oops, wrong red. I think there's probably going to be a bit of cleanup I've got to make. Okay, right, now we're going to be mixing up the reds a little bit. I'm going to take a touch of that one, take a touch of this one, and then we're lightening it up a bit. We're just going to keep lightening this one up. I think this model's coming out pretty nicely. I'm just a bit worried about the quality of the camera footage at the moment. I think that's looking pretty cool. I think it's turning out okay. Put in a little bit more. Keep moving this up through the tones. It's kind of takes time to do this, but it's worth to try and get a bit of a gradual gradient going. What do we think? It's alright. I think the cloak is starting to look nice. There we go. Let's try and get it onto this. Front cloak properly. The front cloak's looking a little bit dim in comparison. I feel like this is the one that really needs to be pop in a bit more. Still building it up. Now we're going to go with the pure scarlet red. There we go, got a pretty intense red building there as it flaps in the wings. So, question is now, you just bring in a little bit of white, mix that in, and this is going to be our highest highlight. We've moved a little bit into the orange and a little bit into the lighter areas to create a pink. Gotta be careful not to go too far with this one, but there we go. I think that does the cloak. I think that's looking okay. Boing, 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 boing. This is where we are right now. It's looking pretty cool. Okay. Next, we could have a go at doing the skull. The skulls, I'm a bit worried the skull's just going to be very similar to the ivory armor. That's my biggest concern with that one. And how we approach that is going to be a little tricky. I guess we could do all the piping and things. Should we do those? Usually now on my characters they're green, so let's add some green to our palette here. So now, whoa, that's drippy. And I'll get some of this light green as well, go on the go. So initially, let's take a touch of this green and mix in a bit of black and make it nice and dark. There we go. And we'll do all this piping here. Right. Let's also do it on the side here. I'm gonna add this green to all these like little incidental details that we've got around the model. Now, we can go a little bit with the white, get a nice pale green on the go. That's going to be the next part to it. There we go. So now let's try and bring in a little bit of this brighter green. Mix that one in with a touch more white. We get a lighter colour as well. Kind of gives this nice swampy green. Adding that to it kind of just gives it a bit of vibrancy without giving it too much, I think. Okay, and get a touch more white in there. We'll go a little brighter. Just these like little highlights that we can do on the side here. That looks alright. I've got more pipes at the top there, which I missed. So we should do those as well. Try and keep it all in the same theme. Start off with the very dark green. Try and get a bit more of that. Make sure we've got enough layers on there to cover. Whew. A bit lighter. Yeah. What are you cooking for dinner today? In some ways, having a quiet stream today has meant I can just sit down and try and knock this thing out as best as I can. I think it's coming along all right. For a one stream and done paint job. It's been a lot of fun for me just to figure out how to mix the paints. Thank you. It's all done with just the basic paint set. No. Sometimes when you limit yourself, you can achieve greater things. As I'm sure you're aware. With your lovely work. But yeah, I'm just limited myself to just this one paint set, and it's like almost none of these colors are in that paint set. It's all mixing and finding the right colors and things. Yeah, this is me painting with 14 paints, and so far I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've used 10 paints so far to do this one. And it's a lot of fun limiting yourself that way. It's kind of cool. And like, it's all just like mixing and creating my own colors out of them. But because I think sometimes because you're using a limited range of colors, sometimes it ties them all together quite nicely. It's kind of a weird thing. Now, this little thing here, I want it to be glowing like a weird thing that glows. But I'm undecided as to what color I'm going to do it. Am I going to do like a blue glowy thing, or do I keep it as a green glowy thing because I've got all the green piping? But I think I'm going to go with a blue glowy thing, like turquoises and things like that. That's what I'm thinking. So let's go and knock down some imperial blue. Let's try the blue first and let's see how it goes, because we haven't done blue yet. So again, I think we take some black, we take some purple. We get a nice dark base first. Just cover this thing, and we're going to build up from there. See how it goes. And then we're going to go pretty bright with this to make it a glow. I'd like it also to be glowing out the sides of the thing here. Hello there, Dale McCormack. Mac. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I've been painting this guy with just one basic paint set, and it's been a lot of fun limiting myself to this one pack of 14 paints. So far I think I put 11 on the actual palette here in total. But yeah, it's going pretty well. How are you doing? How you doing? Thank you very much. I'm enjoying it. It's a real fun model to paint. Kind of saving the skull to last because I don't know how to approach it without it looking exactly like the armor that he's wearing. Unless it's like sluiced with blood. We're going to put down a bit of that and a bit of that. We're going to mix in those two colours together. more. I have to start building in the white soon. Are you getting up to any painting here today, Dale McCormick? Okay, right, let's take some of the turquoise we've got here. I'm going to mix in a touch of the white, make it a nice, very kind of sky bluish turquoise, very light turquoise. Bit of a jump in colour. We'll see how this goes. Go up a little bit further. Keep going up. Bring up a little bit further than that. There we go. Probably what we're looking at. It's kind of like a glowy orb there. All right, now what we're going to try and do. Oh yeah, sorry, I was like asking if you're doing any painting today or miniature work. It sounds like you're printing some, doing some 3D printing. Were you trying to 3D print before it completely failed on you? Oh, it's your first print as well. Or first print failure ever, or first print ever? It's quite a difference between those things. I've done that right, but it's kind of something there. All right. Where to next with you, sir? I'm kind of happy keeping the armor as simple as it is. All of those blues are done. I think we just got to do this skull, and then we can base the thing, and it's done. So, how do we want to do this skull? That's the question. So previously, for the brown, I was using a mixture of these two. Creates a darkish brown. I wonder what happens if we add in a bit of red. I'm not sure if I like that. Let's bring it back with a bit of yellow. So that might be a base that we can use there. Oh, Luke Skywalker bust. Ah, that's a shame. God damn it. I guess it has to happen sometime, doesn't it? There we go. It happens, doesn't it? It was one thing that will remind you not to do it again. Right. Let's mess around and see what kind of a color we can make for this. See where this is going to go with us. So I'm kind of making a different color to the ivory a little bit there, and we'll see if I can keep it up. So we could go a little bit more yellow maybe. See what happens when we do that. So I need to really bring in the white now. So this is kind of an interesting color. it's very yellowy. So let's bring it right up to a white. Well, still kind of like a yellowy ivory now. I'm using AK Interactive Paints, and I'm using this. It's just this one starter set here, which is the basic starter set, and this is the only paints I'm using for this entire model, and they're working out really nicely. I really like this paint set, and you can like blend all sorts of colors out of it and make these wonderful colors. It's really fun. I'm gonna go pretty much all the way up to white here. Go. It's kind of got a skull in his hand. It still looks pretty close to his armor as well, but I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid that because it is a skull at the end of the day. I guess what we could do is we could sluice it with a little bit of blood. So what we do, this is where I kind of ruin it all. Where I kind of muck it up, I think. I'm not sure if that really reads as blood, to be honest. Well, what I'm trying to prove with this is that you don't need a lot of paints to get to paint with lots of color and different intensities and things. If you can understand how the paints mix, you really don't need that much. Now it looks like he's got a fleshy head in his hand. Which isn't too bad. I think that's kind of pretty cool in its own way. What I might do is just thin it down a little bit with some of this on the top there, just as it's kind of thinning through. Okay, I think that's working a bit better. It does look like he's just got like a fleshy head in his hand rather than a skull, which in a way is quite horrifying. I quite like it. So I think that's quite good because it also draws your eye towards it rather than all the extra ivory, which would make it very difficult to see. Alright, I've noticed a couple of bits that are just missing a bit of paint, so I've got to just go in there, at least get a bit on there. Doesn't have to be perfectly painted. These are areas of the model that you're not really going to see so well. As long as it has paint on them, you're not going to notice them so much. There we go. It's darker. And there, I think we've got a finished Exrah. We just need to do the base now, and then he's basically done. But I'm gonna do the base later. I think that's okay. I don't need to do that one on stream right now. But yeah, there we go. We've just made an Exrah using a basic paint set, which has almost none of these actual colors in them as they are. We've just been mixing and creating a kind of a cool looking model. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That's kind of cool. So off stream, I'm gonna go and do the base and then take some photographs, and hopefully we'll be all done with this wonderful fella. There we go. One stream, one model. So that's pretty good going. I should try and do that more often. It feels good to get like one whole model just done in a single stream. But yeah, there we go. Hope you liked it. Those of you who were there, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm pretty happy with how he's turned out. I guess we could do something with the mouth. Now that I'm looking at it, I haven't really done anything with the mouth. Anything that we could do here? That's one thing we could try. I'm wondering. I think we do it this purple red. little bit lighter with it by mixing in a little bit of white. Not too much, I don't want to go crazy. There we go. Just kind of gives him a little bit of color in the face there. I'm not sure if that was a good thing or not, but I'm happy with where he is right now. If I start messing around too much, I'm going to screw up what I've been doing here. So, yep, there we go. There's the Exrah. Ready for the table almost. Just need the base done and he is finished. Thank you very much and take care. I'm going to finish up there. Bye-bye. On YouTube as well who wants to join the community and share their work and be able to just chat directly through messaging and things, the Discord is a great place to do it. And so I just wanted to share some of the work that we've been seeing this last month. One of our Discord users is Starbuck. He's been pretty prolific with getting a lot of painting done these days, and he's got some really, really cool models. So Starbuck has been working on the Orc Shaman from the Cruel Boys. I've painted this particular model as well, but he's done a really, really cool OSL. We've got this really cool fiery liquid coming out of the bowl, and it's reflecting really nicely off of the bones that are hanging around him. If we have a look at the back as well, I really love the ogre skull as well. The lining of the cracks looks really, really prominent. It's really nice. And again, some more OSL going in there. It's a really, really cool model. I love it. Also worked on the shaman as well, who's got a really cool smoke flume out the top. We've also got a Thunder Warrior. This was an STL that Starbuck printed. He just kind of was really interested in the fact that it was like a Roman legionary in a kind of a sci-fi, gothic sci-fi setting. I noticed the fact that it's a Thunder Warrior, so it could well be kind of an image of what the Thunder Warriors were in 40k, which basically